Gentlemen? Hey, in fact, but I added. But gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Now, getting into a very interesting conversation. Recently, Joe Mettle, in a conversation with Andy Dosty, stated that bad reportage, bad stories have cost him a really good deal. And this has been something that a few people have expressed in the public domain about how certain issues or certain stories end up going or giving them negative feedback and may cost a deal or so in terms of brands they are speaking to. Now, let's take a look at what Joe Mettle had to say exactly, and let's come into the conversation and talk about bad reportage and its effect on celebrities.
The last time I had like a really nice conversation with Don. We had, you know, especially with the family ones. I'm like, Charlie, we'll be like, you see, say me, like me, I'm in this, so I understand how these things, you know. But then you punch like Obiba JK. Like now, I'm punching aside. Sometimes it's a lot, and especially when you put all those things down and you realize, first of all, when the person says it and realizes it's not true, they never fix it. They just leave it there. So one time I was sharing with someone. We went somewhere to play a gig, and then when they typed the person's name, like the kind of stuff that came up, they were like, then they started giving excuses. Even me, it's happened to me before. There was an event like that, and then that time there were rumors of things of my family, and the people, based on some of these rumors, they started giving excuses. They didn't say no, but they didn't come back.
Have you listened to the likes of Lutrot on you before?
Who?
Lutrot.
Lutrot.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm generalizing everything.
Sometimes he takes a dig at you. Sometimes. Yeah.
He says what?
Or he take a dig at you a couple of times.
Okay. Oh, no, okay. So, but what I'm trying to say is, the same way we sometimes expect our people to go and we now jab them like that, we drag them sometimes, but we don't realize we see them as showbiz, and then you come back and then say on Kobe Bia, like where we expect the person to, but there are lots of these things that actually contribute to the drag of some of these people.
Now, yes, we're going to get into the conversation shortly, but before we do, the Caution Cocktail Bar, of course, has some great cocktails to let us refresh ourselves before we get into the very interesting conversation. So calling on our mixologist to bring over the cocktails for us to enjoy. Today's cocktail is named Nacus Spiritus, inspired by celebrity guest Lyrical Joe. So it contains strawberry syrup, green apple syrup, citrus, satrama, and Good Day Energy Drink. Of course, the show is proudly brought to you by Good Day Energy Drink. Now, we're live from Alisa Hotel, but encouraging you that every Thursday in the month of September, Alisa beckons you to its unique live and educational gallery environment. For a cool 120 Ghana cedis, you can explore the creativity in you in a sophisticated ambience while you enjoy free drinks and nibbles. So it's happening at the Oasis Pool Bar at 6 p.m. every Thursday in September, and you should pass through and have the most delectable time here at Alisa Hotel. We call it Sip and Paint, and hoping that you join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. for just 120 Ghana cedis for the most splendid time right here at Alisa. Now, coming into the conversation, Joe Mettle basically explained quite a bit about how, in his opinion, family was off limits in some way, shape or form, and certain stories that were put out there cost him a deal. Now, is family off limits when it comes to writing about celebrities? I'll start with you, Halifax.
AJ, so a straight question, is family off limits?
Yes.
When it comes to writing about celebrities, it depends. It can't be a yes or a no answer. I wouldn't just publish or cause to be published or even proofread. a story about my brother Kwame's wife or child or parents, if it has got nothing, to do with what Kwame is doing currently. So at that point, if you come and say, "Oh, this is Kwame Daddy's father. He's going to do ABC," he's not Kwame Daddy. He's or you tell me, Halifax, you have a brother who is who is into the resale of sold lands and is a criminal. I said, so what has that got to do with me? You get what I mean? But if there is an issue involving the celebrity's family, and has become a matter of public discussion or public interest, why not? Who would go there, either it's a celebrity or not? Once it's a matter of public interest, it has no limits. But if the celebrity's conduct or utterances has not dragged in the family, please respect their privacy. I mean, who cares who Mauli marries or who Kwame marries? But if Kwame decides to have, a talk of town wedding and say, look, I want to renew my marriage vows, and then brings the wife and tells her who she is, who want to talk about her? You get what I mean? And then writes about that. I remember this music trio that had a problem, and one of them's wives kept poking her nose into their matters. At that point, we don't care whether or not Tintin, Honey Hoyem, and whatever. One of them's wife. This confuses me. I'm not too sure which of them.
Oh, okay.
Tintin, one of them.
Beverly?
There were two, Beverly and the other one. So once you start to talk about it, that one, you've invited us into the fray. We'll come and talk some. And at that point, there is nothing like, off limits. If you are a gospel musician, and then you and your husband have a problem, and then your husband decides to send the keys to his sister's house, I wouldn't write about it. But once you go there, you are the news. So you've dragged us there. And you are going to take the keys, and your husband's sister says, Choboe, and you use your car to block somebody's gate. You have dragged us into, they are children, custody. Why is the sister? You get what I mean? So it depends. If they drag us in, or it becomes a public interest issue, we can't stay out of it.
Now, coming to the difference between false reportage and negative reportage. Like, there's been a lot of conversation. Sometimes the media is too negative, especially when it comes into issues of musicians. They say we're never too positive enough. They never put out enough positivity about artists. It's always about the negative, the things that have gone wrong, never the things that have gone right. In fact, sometimes they say good things happen for them. They pick up awards, they get endorsements, they do things, but they don't write about that. They only focus on the negative. Now, where do you distinguish between false and negative? And is all news good news, good or bad? Or do you draw a line, or do you try and minimize negativity in your reportage in any way, shape, or form?
That's a whole cocktail.
It is.
Asia has asked about 5 to 6 questions. Let's see how we handle it. I disagree vehemently with all my spirit, soul, and body. That the media focuses largely on negativity. It's not true.
Okay.
What is the most vitriolic tabloid website in town? I feel like let's go there and let's do a statistics. How many stories are on this website? How many are promotional? And how many are sensational or negative? It doesn't tally. Go on citynewsroom.com or peacefmonline.com
or GhanaWeekend.com
or GhanaWeekend.com. Okay. And you actually do a tally. Positive news, negative news, neutral news. You will be surprised that negative news will be in the minority. But it is the negative news people just want to read or want to share. That is not what we necessarily want to focus on or want to publish more of. Reverend Owusu Bempah has been preaching for eye on eye years before Kwame Nkrumah went to Guinea and never came back. Who has bothered to give a reportage on what happened in his church? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't care, depending on what he says.
It's only usually during December when
he says. Now, let us do a Google search, Reverend Owusu Bempah preaching Okay, see how many, what do you call it, news items would come. Reverend Zubampa arrested. How many? Which one flew? So we published one arrest story, and then yay. Bishop Dag Heward-Mills has been preaching. We've always reported what he said, either on Christian channels or non-Christian channels. He grants an interview there. The other time I saw him on one station with Papa Duncan talking about church growth and Anakazo, and it doesn't really fly. But his pastor sent him to court that he's not paid their SNIT or tax or something. Yay. So it is the public themselves that patronize those stories more. There is nothing wrong with it, AJ. Even the Bible, the most holy book, published about Jezebel, published about Samson and Delilah, published about Sodom and Gomorrah. Were they positive news? Bible. If it happens and it is true and it is factual, it must be told and told fairly. Once it is not false, it is not unfair, I think it is journalism. It may not necessarily be balanced. Because when we say a story is balanced, that doesn't mean when you write 10 paragraphs, 5 says Maule says this, and then 5 says Kwame says this. I can decide to do 8 says Maule says this. The last minute, Kwame said 1 paragraph. I'll balance my story. Check from the journalism, lecture books, and let's see. So let us not make it so. I disagree with that, you know, we are overly negative. I've also explained my thoughts that, like, if it is fair, it can be proven, and it's well intended. I have nothing against it. Yes, it may hurt you, but is it true? Now who cause them?
Well,
Who cause them? If you decide to go and enter your swimming pool and you are just in some, why?
Charlie, swimming pool come inside here.
No, I'm giving examples. Okay, okay. Let's leave swimming pool. If you decide to, Halifax, come. If you decide to tell us how many cars you've been giving to celebrities, okay, and we publish it, the day that MP will tell you they are stolen cars, we also publish it too.
Exactly.
You get what I mean? Then when you say that, oh, we're embarrassing the Christian community and blah blah blah, but now who caused them? Those who have been giving cars and they've not made noise about it, the day Assembly who wouldn't even hear.
that's true.
So, as I said, in conclusion, even the Bible, when it is bad, it says it is bad. See the way the Bible describes Jezebel, as if.
David, do you think that Ghanaians as a people, our taste, or we have an acquired taste for negativity as against, or sensationalism, as against going for the positivity?
I think not just Ghanaians.
The world over?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, when a fight breaks here right now, we might even stop whatever we are doing. The cameraman will stop.
And we'll all rush outside to see what's going
To
on.
go and watch. That is the nature of humans. If Kwame doesn't should show us the analytics of Ghana Weekend, you would realize that most of the sensational stories receive the highest clicks. It's because people love. It's not like they love negativity, but I don't know. I would call it they care. Like Ghanaians naturally, if you see people fighting, we separate them. But elsewhere, when it happens,
They'll watch you burn.
they'll watch you and they'll video you, they'll film you and come and put you on social media. But Ghana, when you see 2 people fighting, no, they will go and separate it. So it is part of us. We are humans. And in journalism, in journalism, I'm coming. In
been to Bukom
journalism,
before.
you are a journalist. Yeah, okay. So Bukom case is different. But generally, okay, so that's right. But generally, I mean, people do not like that stuff like that. You get it. I mean, in journalism, we say that when dog bites a man, it's no news. That's what they've been doing. That's what dogs are. But if a man bites a dog,
Especially the balls of the dog. Then it becomes big news.
you get it. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
artists, for
If it's a
instance,
female dog, you will bite a particular place. John news.
let's take Wandishe, for instance. When Wandishe came out, she got the bars and everything and all that. And there was this story about Wandishe having an affair with Bullets. Wandishe isn't the first female artist to have an affair with
That's true.
Bullets. You get But you know, Ghanaians naturally we are inquisitive. Oh, so what happened? Where's the audio? And they will be sharing the audio. Okay, oh, this is bad and all that. You see, so it's our nature. It's part of us, and we can't take this out. I think that it is we, the media, our responsibility to say that, okay, this story, I know I will get the clicks, but I won't let it out. You get it. So that's the little. I
Have you done that? Been put in a situation where you decided that I would not put out the story, even though it will give me clicks?
Okay, it happens once, but I don't want to go deep into it. But you see, it will shock you that some of these negative stories comes of these celebrities.
Bringing me to the next question, is it that people, or is there a trend of celebrities, popular people, personalities, thriving on sensationalism? They want to put out sensational, negative news about themselves.
It works in our part of the world. Our
Really?
system is structured in a way that in Ghana, if you don't make noise and you don't, you don't become controversial and all that, you might be irrelevant. Akwaboah is doing well. But how many times have you heard about Akwaboah? But you see, Ghanaians, because of the way we are programmed, because of the way our system is, like the negativity, we love anything, negative. You get it? Wow. So I feel that the artists, they do it. Sometimes they contact you, Charlie, I'm paying you this amount of money, put out this amount, this kind of story for me. And somehow it works. You get this? When the controversy happens, it creates buzz around the artists. Sometimes it translates into sales. When Bullets and When the Shay issue came, when the Shay dropped a song and The Boy Is Mine or something, the song has over 1 million views. But most of the good songs do not even have up to that numbers. You get it? So it helps. Sometimes it helps. But the negative, the effects, the bad effects, it outweighs the good effects.
Now let's come to the effects, Kwame. What are the negative effects on celebrities when negative stories are put out there in the public domain?
So I'm struggling to draw the line between the false story and the negative story. You know, I'm not sure if what Jometo said was a false story or a negative story, because a story may be true but negative. And who determines if a story is negative or positive? The artist. Now, I may call David Marley to do a story for me and say, they will usually do the Dadawu questions. You see, do you want a solemn or you want a Dadawu? And some of them will tell you, I want the headline to be a bit sensational. You know, you do the story and they say, oh, Charlie, this headline, you're not going to fly.
Wow.
They call you and tell you. You see, so sometimes what we see as a negative story is positive to them because they're getting the attention, they're getting the clicks, they're getting all the buzz. You get it? So negative in this sense, if the story does not directly affect somebody outside the artist's team or somebody like the general public, if you like, then I believe that we have no problem to worry about that. Now, you have what we call the false story. Let's say I write that AJ Sapon is going out with a sugar daddy. Okay? It is not true.
How do you know it's not true?
I believe it's not true.
If it is not true, you believe it is false story. Then you can tell me, oh, but this is not true. You can sue me for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know that AJ Sapon works at City. If I read that, it is fact. It's factual. Or if I saw you go to Morocco and I saw that you were in a picture, you were in a picture with a certain nice gentleman. Then I do the story.
AJ on a vacation.
Yes. Or if you get a very mischievous blog, you say, is this AJ's new boo? That is a question. It is not emphatic. So you see, sometimes too, it's about the style of these showbiz blogs. You know, the typical showbiz blog is not like the political blog. Sometimes we just try to dramatize a bit, you know, to make it more interesting. But do not change the facts.
Exactly.
Don't write anything that is not true. And that is my problem. The last time, a few weeks ago, I saw a story that says that Jagapi had said G-Man is not a true man of God. I was preparing my headlines for Celebrity Reader. So this is a very solid story. Juice Day inside. Then something just pricked my conscience. You just go and look for the video and watch the video. Jagapi didn't say anything about G-Man.
Oh, so it was a completely fictitious headline.
So the writer twisted the headline.
Wow.
What the man said was that G-Man should read his Bible well. If he's a man of God, he should read the Bible well. Then the writer inferred from that and then used that for a headline. So I said, oh, my brother, I just called him. So Charlie, the story you wrote, the headline and the video, no, Charlie, it don't be true. He said, no, it is true.
Family, he will call you out like that.
Why are you saying it is true? Then the guy told me that the man said G-Man should go and read his Bible well. So it means he is saying that G-Man is not true. And I was, no, that is not true. And that saved me. Because there have been a few instances where we got some stories wrong because of some of these things. Because somebody did the story and they thought it was juicy. So you didn't even look for the audio or the video. You just rewrote the story with the same quotation, and then you landed in trouble. So I think that sometimes we don't pay attention to what we do. There are others who do that mischievously. You know, they just want to be mischievous. I want to make him body bam. There are people like that, you know, and most times those blogs are not really the very popular ones, but they still have traction. Once the story is out there are some people who didn't even bother to cross-check or double check.
We'll just read the headline and run with it. We've
Yes.
seen many times.
Yes.
On social media, they'll put the article out there.
Yes.
People have not read the story.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's the headline.
But per the headline,
Yeah.
they will now start to
Yes.
insult
Yeah.
accordingly in the comment section.
So AJ, so in as much as I believe that, yes, we don't only write negative stories, but I would also admit that most of us in this space don't do the right thing. They see somebody put something on social media, they run with it without cross-checking. Sometimes there is even a way.
If you say most of us, I think, can I come in?
No, no,
Just-
wait.
Just give me 5 seconds. But if you say most of us, I think I disagree.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying most of us, you know,
Just, I think the inexperienced ones, okay?
And
Because
there are
cannot
lots of
blame-
them.
You cannot blame the media for a story like the one that happened between Moesha and the other Samamumi.
it wasn't false.
When Samamumi went to Turkey
Yeah.
to do the Halifax favorite
I
thing.
don't know.
We don't know
Why
about
you
that.
drag Halifax
Answer your
into this?
favorite thing. Your favorite part of the body.
Okay.
When she went to correct the Halifax's favorite part of the
Listen,
body,
the crab body.
it was Moesha who told all the bloggers that this is what is happening.
So that is another point. But what
So
I'm
would
saying,
you blame?
no, we don't take the blame for that. I'm talking about when the blogger or the writer or the journalist sets out to write a story without cross-checking and then puts the story out there.
Do enough, and we could say that with the rise of Instagram, there are a lot of people that don't actually
Yeah.
own website, they do just Instagram
Yes.
blogging
Yeah.
these
Yes.
days.
Yeah.
Grab a video, put it out, write a story underneath it, and then just
That
blast
is-
it,
Yes.
and it goes viral.
Yes.
Are enough of the bloggers in the blogging sphere in Ghana doing due diligence?
AJ, before they come in, sometimes you can do speculative reporting. There is you see, writing is an art.
Right.
I did an article on Wendy Shea's new song Heat. I didn't say Wendy Shea was shading whoever, those female celebrities. What I wrote was that is Wendy Shea throwing a shade at and a question mark. When you read the story, I never stated categorically that these were the people the song was directed at. It's an art. So you read the whole story and then you would make your own assessment
Okay.
of it. But somebody will make a categorical statement that Wendy Shea is shading this person and that person. Well, when you do that, Wendy can come out and tell you that.
I
And
never
even
said
mention
that.
Wendy's
Yeah.
name.
Okay.
Okay, so I think, you know, in as much as sometimes we want to entertain through our writings, through our vlogs and whatever, we should make sure that we do not tell people about what somebody has not said. And when it happens, Joe Mettel's example for it,
Is it-
Joe Mettel's example, what he said.
Is it wrong to
When you go-
analyze a song?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to, I'm taking the host position. Is it wrong to analyze a song and say, okay, this part talks about this part talks about this, and all that? Because we all know there's a whole website, a lyrics website, where they annotate lyrics. So you go there, they will tell you this line or this bar means this and that. You get it.
No, you can
Is it wrong?
No, you can do your own assessment,
Like,
assessment, a review, a
Let
breakdown.
when the for instance, Sheldon did a breakdown,
Yeah.
and in his analysis, he joined one of few things together, and we ended up pointing
that
at.
would be an opinion piece.
Yeah.
So opinion pieces are quite different from news stories or story items. You know, when you are reporting a story, that should be treated as a story, a news item. If you are writing an opinion piece, it is your opinion. So we know that this is my opinion, and not telling the audience that this is what Wendy is saying. This is my opinion of what
Based on what
she's
I've
saying.
listened to, yeah. But due diligence in the industry, Halifax, is it being done enough?
I'll come to due diligence. Let me take a bite from the question you asked my brother about the influence of negative reportage
On celebrities.
on celebrities. It depends on the brand of that celebrity and depends on the nature of the negativity. Clearly, if you go to a music awards and you think you should be crowned a dancehall king and you do not win and you decide to scatter chairs and walk out, that is not positivity. But because of that particular brand, it propelled his career.
Absolutely.
Shatta Wale had been singing for some 10 solid years before that incident. The
And in
khaki
fact,
one,
had,
you
had,
get what I
had
mean?
been lost in
20
the
times.
mix. But that particular event actually did set
so
him apart.
it was negative, it helped him. Okay. Imagine that same thing was done by blah 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 blah. Mama Cynthia, Daughters of Glorious Jesus. It will have killed their career straight away. No matter how we explain, oh Nakuma, even Jesus got angry and flogged some old women in the synagogue one day. So pardon daughters, no, wouldn't still buy it. So it depends on the brand. Somebody like Shatta, I think sometimes he deliberately sparks it. You get, and he has a nice way of going about it. He would always escape. If you've not mastered that craft, you will mess up. If you want to do what Shatta is doing, you would mess up. He has a particular fan base, and he knows how to thrive on that to keep them alive, keep their tours going, blah 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 blah. If Sarkodie attempts that, he will be in trouble. Sarkodie had pictures of himself with some cigar.
And it became,
Affected him.
yeah.
Shatta would do the same and say that. You get what I mean? Even when it comes to the gospel fraternity, what Brother Sammy will see and escapes us free. Let Jometo say it. He's in
trouble.
He's in trouble. So it depends on the person. Now, to your main question you asked me, my sweetheart, let's be honest. It hurts me when sometimes we pile this thing on bloggers and people on Instagram, they don't do due diligence. Most of them are not journalists. As Kwame said, most of them are not writing news. So we can pardon them.
Okay.
News are certain elements, certain basic ingredients that must be there. These are the basic things. The who, the why, the when, the what. They don't even care about that. You get what I mean? They are just doing. Blogging is not journalism. It is not news. So we can know.
It's
we
a new
start here.
form.
It's very
Well,
It's a new,
Hold
it's a
on.
new
It's
genre
very
now.
debatable.
Hold on.
It is.
Hold on. Blogging is not news journalism.
Okay.
News journalism is not
partially
opinionated.
Okay.
A blog is purely his opinion from the way he sees
No.
things.
That's when.
When I finish coming, please. Let us not. What are you going to say?
So that's where
But
nature.
how do you define blogging?
No, so that's where niches come in. So blogs,
No,
there are so
how
many
do you
niches in
define
blogs.
blogging?
So
I'm asking you.
there are blogs where people write only opinions.
Yeah.
And there are blogs where people
that is
report
not a question. Substantive
about
question.
events.
How
I'm coming.
do you define
No,
blog,
I'm
not
coming.
types of blogs? Define
How
blog in
has
general.
blogging as a whole evolved over the last few years?
Either it's
It has.
absorbed or not.
So it
Google
started,
it and
like
define
Halifax was
blogging.
saying-
When you define blog, then define journalism.
So I'm coming. I'm coming. So
as I was saying,
Halifax was saying.
Yes, is purely opinionated. We can pardon them.
Okay.
Let us come to us who call ourselves strict journalists. AJ, we do worse. We are the worst culprits. We can pardon the blogs. Some of them combine. You know, they have a way of, he's doing journalism, but he also has a blog, blah, blah, blah. We can, but we do worse. From political reporters to economic reporters to those of us who write entertainment, and we say we are trained, we do worse. We do worse. It's become a canker. Due diligence, we don't know what it is anymore. If he were not trained and he were not responsible for the fact that he saw that mischievous headline, which is a factual lie, it's a clear lie, he would have, just published it and taken it.
Yeah.
Many of these small newspapers these days, they don't even have writers. They just go online, pick a story, source it, pam, and then they are going. We're doing worse than these bloggers who they say, I have my, what do you call it, my Instagram. And what I want to put there is what I put there.
Okay.
Pure insult. You get what I mean? When you Google or you run a search on Kwame Dazi, okay, and a newspaper or a media house has written something negative about him, it doesn't have the same effect to a prospective client, a prospective job. It doesn't have the same effect on them as he picked it from somebody's Instagram or somebody's blog. It doesn't have the same effect.
Granted.
You get what I mean? Let's the city write something about him that it is negative, and somebody's Instagram, another thing, they are not on the same platform. And I'm saying that rather than focusing on those people that we know that as for them, well, that is their style, that is the way they want to go about things, let us put the focus on those of us who are supposed to be the gatekeepers. Anyway, and this I'm not willing
We have to run. Time flies when you're having fun. Honestly, I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation.
What did you put in this thing?
It's a secret mix, but the winning ingredient is good energy drink.
It's
Fire
making
days,
my
It's
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh, what have I said? It is making my.
It's good to start off a Saturday night with.
So I should say what I wanted to say.
No.
On this note, let's leave it there. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I
The
think
way
we
you
need to have a
cut me
part
there,
two.
no.
Yeah, we didn't finish.
Okay, you have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay, can I chip in some one or two things
said you
about
want
the
30 seconds.
30
the bad
seconds.
effects of
30, we have to wrap. They're going to
the bad effects of the
Please.
Yeah.
negative
In 30
reportage. So
seconds.
I mean, most of these celebrities like Shatawale, Stonebwoy, and the rest, Sarkodie, they've grown thick skin and they are not afraid of anything that will come at them. But you see, someone like Wendy Shea, all these people, they are vulnerable and all that, and it affects them a lot. I think we have to be careful when we are reporting about them because Ghana here, mental health is something that we do not regard.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
we don't care. If someone says mental health issue is related to this, and then like funny face, I said that, but I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It affects them. Like Jomete said, he lost a deal. It ruins brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, it's as it puts us in a bad picture. The whole entertainment industry.
Yeah.
If you remember last year, this one comedian called, is it Pararan or something? He said he blasted bloggers, for writing negative story. When Sarkodie went to Nigeria recently for his press tour, you saw what happened. So people out there are watching because the internet bridges the gap between communication in this modern world. So I think that we should be careful about it.
And on that note, the internet never forgets. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Halifax, Ansar Ado, David Mauli, Kwame Dazi,
We have to come back again. This is
we'll definitely do this again. We have to do this again. No, this is a winning combination.
Yeah,
When I come back, I'll be having a conversation with Lyrical Jill.